All right, are you ready? My soul wanted me to share with you that right now, at this moment, God is seeking self through you, through me. God is seeking self through us. God is having a human experience to seek what they already know. And you go, what? I certainly did. The first time I ever heard that, I went, what? But I found it to be true for me, is that every free will choice that I've ever made, good or bad, God gets to feel what they already know. So if they already know love, then they get to feel what the opposite is. So I get to feel love. Isn't that's mind-blowing. That is just mind-blowing. That God gets to have a feeling moment with us with every choice that we make. And if we take responsibility for the choices that we make, we get to make those choices even better. See, the way that humanity has been doing things, we don't take responsibility if shit doesn't go right. We want to blame others. Well, how does God get to feel through you the next step if you're blaming someone else for something that went wrong? Because when you're blaming someone else, you're not moving forward. Or when you're calling the experience and saying that it was a disaster and thinking and pondering upon that, you don't move on to the next thing that might give you a sense of whatever it is you're looking for, or whatever it is that God is seeking through you. Yes? So we have all this magnificent power in us, God's magnificent consciousness in us, and it is so big that it can't fill us up. It has to surround us. And God is having this experience through us and giving us the free will to make any choice we want to make. Knowing that the consequence of our choice is going to either make us feel good or it's going to make us feel bad. It's going to make us feel happy or it's going to make us feel sad. It's going to make us like something or it's going to make us dislike something. It's going to make us like someone or dislike someone. And through those choices, you get to change. You get to step up to the plate and you get to change it. Every mistake that you've ever made is just a mistake and you get to take it over. And God is along for your ride, your journey. God is seeking self through you, through me, and then we get to seek self through God. And the power that's within us, this is what's just blowing my mind, is the power that's within us. It was given to us at birth. It was handed down to us from a generation of consciousness. Not human generation, but generation of consciousness. Free-flowing consciousness that is there forever and ever and ever. So we get to have all these magnificent choices in our life. We get to move through all the things that don't make us feel good so that we can seek something that does. That means that when you're having an anxiety moment, you get to seek what made you have that moment. You get to call it out. You get to acknowledge it. You get to say bye-bye to it, and you get to move on. Because anxiety and depression and lack and envy and malice and hatred, those are not part of the consciousness of God. Those aren't natural to the consciousness of God. But they are natural to duality. Because if you're having an anxiety moment, the opposite of that is peace and clarity. A clarifying moment. I was about to put two words together that probably wouldn't make sense, but a clarifying moment. It's the opposite of anxiety. But you don't get to feel that if you stay in that anxiety moment, if you stay in that depression moment. And I'm not saying it's easy to pull yourself out of it, but you start with what you know. And you know, now you know, that you are a part of God's consciousness having a physical action in this duality. You're having a physical relationship with duality. But you come from consciousness. You were born out of consciousness. You don't just stop being conscious. You may be asleep to it, but you are a conscious creation having a physical relationship with duality. And the gift that God gave you, I'll say that again, is free will, choices. And then every other gift in the universe, the laws, the cosmic laws, the laws of creation, the laws of cause and effect, the laws of karma, all the laws, every law that's imaginable. And they keep showing up. You counted 7 universal laws, and then there are more than that. Because God doesn't take anything for chance. God created everything so that we could have this magnificent life. Now, life doesn't have to be super perfect. It never will be, because there is duality. So we're always going to embark on making choices that might not fit us, that might not suit us, that might not make us feel great. But the thing is that if you acknowledge them, if you bring them to the forefront and say, okay, I am acknowledging that this did not feel great. I'm acknowledging that I want something different. I want something better. And you get to say, okay, I'm going to allow you to leave now so I can make another choice. God is seeking self through us. This is how God gets to feel love and joy and peace and creation. I said that word, creation. God never stopped creating. He didn't rest on the 7th day. He just transferred the creative power to us. Yes? And now God is seeking self and creating through us, through our free will choices. Oh, I think that's magnificent. That just blew my mind. And my soul just keeps telling me all this stuff over and over again. And I keep saying, well, I know that. And I said that in a video before. My soul says, say it again. Somebody needs to hear it. So here I am, saying it again. Anxiety, depression, lack, envy, malice, hatred, those are natural laws. They are not natural to the consciousness of God. Nor should they be natural to you. But yes, you're going to experience them, but you're not to live in them. You're not to be plagued by them. So the first thing to do, if you've been overwhelmed with them, don't stop taking any of your medicine. If you're taking medicine for anxiety and depression, don't go there. But seek self. Seek yourself and who you are. You first have to know that you are magnificent. Then you have to know that you are a conscious replication of God. God looked at your body and said, there she is, there he is. And I'm in there. I'm going to give them a piece of me, of consciousness, and gave you soul. Then you need to know that you are a conscious creator. You should be consciously creating. Awake and creating and choosing whatever you need to choose for you. And then God is along for that journey, seeking self, because he, she, it, they know everything. They know every scenario. You just get to choose one. And you keep getting to choose until life feels good to you, satisfying, happy, joyous, joyful. that clarity just rains down on you. And you just keep getting to make choices for you. But in order to get rid of all that anxiety and depression and all the lack and the envy and everything, you have to go back and be willing to do the work for you, to seek self in you. How did you get there? What story was told? Who told the story to you? Right? Why did you latch on to that story? Where are you going to go from this story? If it doesn't feel good, when do I get to change my story? All these questions are yours to ask. And your soul is ready to answer the question because it's just an extension part of God who says, I'm with you all the time. I am having a relationship with you. I am having a human experience with you, and you are having a spiritual experience with me. So, what are we going to do today? Are you going to take 5 minutes for yourself? Ask a deep and personal question that you've always wanted to ask for yourself. Have 5 minutes for yourself and just sit with the question. Your mind is going to try to take you out of it, but that's okay. You just go back into it and say, it's okay, mind. We're going to allow the answer to fill us. Yes? I want you to have a blessed day today. I want you to have this miraculous miracle of a day that flows from within you. You are the power of God walking the earth. So you get to create whatever you want to create, good or bad. You get to create whatever you want to create. You get to create whatever you want to create. And you get to do it now. Have a blessed day. Stay wonderfully, wonderfully active in those thoughts. And let the law of the universe manifest them for you. But first, ask if the thought is for your greater good. Yes? Have a blessed day.